Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video because I'm going to be testing out the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and I've heard some really good things about this and I wanted to test it out for myself. Recently I've been using the same primers over and over again, and I really wanted to try something new, so I'm really happy to be trying out this Milk Makeup Primer. So a little bit about the primer. I have the Sephora website up over here. The primer, it says that it's a hydrating makeup gripping primer formulated with hemp-derived cannabis seed extract and blue agave extract for all-day hydration and hold. So it also says that it is formulated with aloe water, cherry blossom hyaluronic acid, which is super great, and vitamin B to support skin for healthier looking base and provide a glassy post-hot yoga class glow. So basically the primer is supposed to hydrate your skin and make you have a more of a healthy glow, as well as grip onto your foundation so that it stays and lasts all day. So that all sounds like really great things to have in a primer, so I'm really excited to try it. So with this primer, I'm going to be using my favorite foundation that I know works well for me. It's the Fenty Beauty foundation. I have the shade 390. Currently, this is my favorite foundation, so I want to test it out with this primer to see just how good the primer is. All right, so let's just get into the primer. So I am going to be starting on my face first. I have a friend who I know is watching who is probably really happy that I'm starting with my face first because I always do my eyes first. But since I'm testing out this primer, I am going to start with my face. So you know exactly who you are. So I'm just gonna do one pump here. This is what it looks like. Okay, let's just put it on the face and see what happens. It doesn't really have a scent. It's not. It does feel very sticky, which I guess is the gripping part of the primer. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my Fenty Beauty foundation and then dot that on my skin. I did read somewhere that after you put the primer on, it's best to just go straight in with your foundation so that it grips on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right, and just start building that out. All right, so now that the foundation's on, I'm gonna go ahead and go with my concealer. I'm gonna be using my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm actually using two different ones. I'm using Amande and Caramel. Amande is a little bit too close to my skin tone, so I'm just gonna mix in a little bit of Caramel. I know that Nars did add some newer ones, like some new shades, but I haven't really gotten a chance to buy any of them. So I know that there's probably a shade that's actually better for me out there. But for now, I'll just mix, which is fine. All right, and then for powder, I'm just going in with my classic Mercier powder and add that. Add that or put the concealer. All right, so concealer, powder, foundation's on. So far, so good. I'm liking the primer. It didn't do much for like pores or anything, but it didn't claim to do that. It just claimed to give more of like a healthy glow. So I think it looks pretty good. It does have a little bit of a glow. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have like a slight glow to the skin. And the Fenty Beauty foundation is very matte, so the primer is kind of showing that glow through a little bit, which is I actually really like. And foundation, concealer, and powder went on pretty well over the primer. So I'm gonna do my eyes and eyebrows, and then I will be back, and then we can move on to the rest of my complexion stuff to see how my bronzer, blush, and highlight go over the foundation with the primer underneath. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished my eyes. I used the ABH Riviera palette, which I still love. And I also used the Milk Makeup Kush mascara, just going with the theme of today's video. Okay, so now I'm gonna focus on the complexion part of my routine. So I'm gonna go ahead and bronze. So I'm gonna use my Anastasia bronzer. I have the shade Mahogany. And I'm gonna use my e.l.f. bronzing brush, which is one of my favorite bronzing brushes, and it's e.l.f., so that means it's affordable. For blush, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. blush palette. I have the dark version. And I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this one right here. And last but not least, I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Crown of My Canopy. I love these little Megaglo highlighting powders. I hope they come out with even more because I just think they're so beautiful. And I'm going kind of with the pink theme. It has more of like a rose gold type of shade. So I wanted to go with the pink eye look that I have going on right now. I'm probably putting on way too much, but I don't care. I could probably keep going. Like, to be honest, I will keep going. But I'm gonna stop. Okay, one more. Okay, now I'm gonna stop. Now I'm gonna stop. All right. So for lips. Last week on Instagram, I actually posted a look that is very similar to this one. The only difference is that on this one, I added a little bit of glitter. I added a little glitter eyeliner, which I used the ColourPop Supernova Shadow as an eyeliner, which I've never done before. And this is the one in the shade Moonlight because it's like a very pretty purpley pink color. I wanted to add just something fun to go with it, so that's the only difference. But in that Instagram picture, I'm actually wearing a pink lipstick. I'm wearing the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Unlocked. And because I wanted to do more of like a monochromatic look, but I actually think I'm gonna do something different for this look. So for this one, I think I'm gonna actually use from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm gonna use Ashton, which I actually got on sale at TJ Maxx. So definitely check out TJ Maxx on clearance if you wanna get high-end products for a lower price. So now I'm gonna actually lip line with ColourPop's Lippie pencil in BFF3, which is my favorite brown shade one. So I'll line my lips with that, and then I'll go in with Ashton. All right, and then I'm gonna go over in Ashton. Now I hope that this works. My lips are a little dry, and I actually bit on my lip. There's like a bite on my lip that I woke up with, and my lip was bleeding this morning. So I must have bitten my lip while I was sleeping. Who knows? So hopefully this lipstick works. If not, we'll have to try something else. Okay, so lipstick on. And to set my face, I really wanted to use this new Anastasia Dewy Setting Spray, which I just also got recently. I got it at the same time that I got the Milk Primer. But I also want to see if this lasts all day. And I don't know if this dewy setting mist will like mess up the lasting ability. So I'm not going to use this one today, but I will be using it in the future. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just going to go in classic spray that I always use. It's my Morphe Continuous Mist. Alright, okay, so thoughts on the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I actually really do like this primer so far. I think that the tackiness of the primer does grip on to the foundation, so I do think that my foundation will last all day. I do think that my skin does have somewhat of a healthy glow because I did pick the Fenty Beauty foundation, which is very matte, and I don't think that the foundation looks as matte as it usually does. So I do think that it does give you some hydration and some glow. As I have mentioned before in the past, I do have combo skin. So my skin is more oily on my nose area and my forehead and more dry on the other areas of my face. Sometimes my face is more drier, sometimes my face is more oily. It really depends on how my skin is acting, but recently my skin has been pretty much normal, not too dry, not too oily. So what I think that this could work for all skin types. So if you have dry skin, there's the hydration part. So it definitely does hydrate the skin and make you have this glow. So if you have dry skin, I think that would be beneficial to you. And then if you have oily skin, I think this could also work for you since it is a gripping primer. So the foundation will stick to the primer so that your foundation won't go everywhere if you do get oily. So I do think that this primer could work for all skin types, and so far so good. So I think I'm gonna just keep trying this out throughout the weeks, the upcoming weeks, and see how the foundation holds up. And then I will update that in the description to see if anything changes. But yeah, I really like it, so I'm gonna keep using it and see what happens. But thank you so much for watching this Milk Makeup First Impressions review. Please subscribe to my channel, like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!